Welcome again to my mathematics online tutorial, and in today's class we want to continue from where we stopped. Integration lecture 2, power rule for integration. And here today we want to consider negative integer version. Please, if you have not watched that the one I did before, the previous video on positive integer version, I advise us to go and watch that one before you come to this. Now, negative integer version. The power rule. For example, if you are given a function y is equal to x power n. For us to integrate this function, the power rule is saying that is integrating this function x power n with respect to x. The power rule is saying x n plus 1 all over what? N plus 1 plus c, where c is what we call constant of what? Integration. X power n is equal to x n plus 1 all over n plus 1 plus c, where c is constant of integration. Now, when n is negative, for example, when we have a function, say integrate y, let me use x, x minus 2 dx. When you check this now, the power is no longer positive, it's negative, minus 2. That is, my n is equal to minus 2. So what will happen now? The solution to this is going to be what? X, n is negative 2 plus 1 all over minus 2 plus 1, then plus constant of integration. Now, minus 2 plus 1, you have minus 1. All right? Minus 2 plus 1, you have minus 1. Then minus 2 plus 1, you have minus 1. Then plus c. But ordinarily, you know that we can rewrite this. You know this. Can write this to be minus x minus 1 plus c. All right? That is x power minus 1 all over minus 1. This minus 1 is the same as if we can write something like this, 2 all over minus 1 to be equal to minus 2. It means we should be able to rewrite this as minus x power minus 1. And also, we can decide to write this to be minus 1 over x plus c. So this is the result of this, what's it called? Integral. Now, let's proceed again. This is example 1. Number 2. That's it. Number 2. We say integrate, for example, y. Let me use y. It must not be x. Y minus 3. Y minus 3 dy. Y power minus 3 dy. It's no more ds. So what are we going to do? Then is to be what? The power here is minus, the power here is minus 3. That is n is equals to minus 3. Now, it will be y minus 3 plus 1 all over what? Minus 3 plus 1. And plus what? C. Look at it, because our n is now minus 3. So we have y minus 3 plus 1 is minus 2. Minus 3 plus 1 is also what? Minus 2 plus c. Do you know that we can rewrite this to be minus 2 y? No, let me just write it like this. Minus y minus this all over 2 plus c. This is the result. All right? So now you can decide to leave it this way so that I will not be confused. Now, let us proceed to, what's it called? Number 3. Let's consider another example. Number 3, say integrate x, let me just say 1 all over x 4 ds. You see it now, this is very simple. Integrate 1 over x power 4 ds. This is the same as writing x power what? Negative 4 ds. 1 all over x power 4. So the same as writing it to be what? X power minus 4. So that here our n becomes minus 4. So all we need to do now is to substitute n to be minus 4 into this formula. Then now let's substitute our s. N is minus 4 plus 1 all over what? N minus 4 plus 1. Then plus c. Now this is x minus 4 plus 1 is minus 3. Minus 4 plus 1 is the same as writing, minus 4 plus 1 is the same as 1 minus 4. The result is what? Minus 3. All over minus 4 plus 1 minus 3. So now, so now we can start to write this as minus x minus 3 over 3 plus c, where the c is what we call constant of what? Integration. So let us take consider another example. Now, let's consider another example. Remember, we are still discussing negative integer version using what? Power rule for integration. Now, let's introduce something like this. Let's say this is 2. You see? Let's say this is 2. So what are we going to do here? You see the same thing. This is example what now? Example 4 also. Or that about 4, yes. What are we going to do? It's the same. We can rewrite this to be 2 x power negative 4 ds. This is the same thing. It's just because of these 2 that we introduce. My n now becomes negative 4. N becomes negative 4. So let's substitute here. This 2 is constant. So now this 2 is serving as a constant. So it's going to be 2, mind you, 2 into this whole something. Now, what is my x? Look at s is here. N is minus 4. Minus 4 plus 1 all over minus 4 plus 1. All right, then plus c, which is constant of integration. 2x minus 4 plus 1, you have minus 3. And then minus 4 plus 1, you still have minus 3. Then plus what? C. So what then is the result? If you like, you can rewrite this to be minus 2x minus 3 all over what? 3 plus c. But do you know that you can still rewrite this? Else, you leave it this way. But we can still rewrite this. Let me write it again to be, this is minus 2 all over 3 multiplied by, this x power minus 3 going to be 1 all over s power 3 plus c. Know that this is possible. This is minus 2 over 3. Then multiply by this x power minus, because this is indices. Indices. That is x power minus 3. You can write to be 1 all over s power 3. So now, let's multiply minus 2 times this. We have what? Minus 2 times 1. We have minus 2 all over 3s power 3 plus c. So this is written in a more mature form. So let's consider the final example for today. Let's consider a final example for today before we go. Example 5. Now, integrate 1. Let's say 1 all over s power 3, then minus 2 all over x squared ds. So using the same idea that we have got from example 1 to 4, I want to combine them to solve example 5 now. Solution, so let's integrate. So if you like, you can separate them. That is, integrate 1 over x by 3 respect to x minus integral 2 all over x to ds. Now, you know that this 2 is constant. If you like, you can take it to the back, but this is 1. 1 is still 1. So let's write this one. So now we can rewrite this to be x power minus 3 ds. All right, and this can be written as minus these two now can be taken to the back like this, x minus 2 ds. Look at it. I've not done anything wrong here. This one is 1. Or let me just bring the 1 here so that we will not be confused. You know, 1 over x power 3 can be written as x power minus 3 ds because 3 before 3 was denominator. Now we have moved it to be what? What is it called? We have removed the denominator from here. So it's now 1 over x power 3 can be written as x power minus 3. Minus this one because it's 2, it's a constant, so we move it to the back. So we now have x power minus 2 there. So that is when we can now apply this our rule. Here, my n is what? Look at n. N is minus 3. So let's go. But 1, even if you do not write 1, it's the same thing. So whether you put 1 or not, the same thing. So you may not bother yourself putting 1 again. Now, x minus 3 is the power. So minus 3 plus 1 all over what? Minus 3 plus 1. We are following this formula now. Minus, 2 must be written there because 2 is not 1. So it means it's going to affect the result of this of the integral. Now, x minus 2 is the power, so minus 2 plus 1. All right? All over minus 2 plus 1. Everything plus what? C. Where C is constant of integration. So now we have here, we have x power minus 2 all over what? Minus 3 plus 1 is what? Minus 3 plus 1 is minus 2. Then minus 2 into, here we have x minus 2 plus 1 is minus 1. All over minus 2 plus 1, minus 1. And plus C. But let me bring the result up and then we are done. Let me bring the result up and we are done. Now look at it. I said we have x minus 2 all over what? Minus 2. Minus 2. Then x minus 1 all over minus 1 plus C. So what are we going to do here now? We can write this to be minus x minus 2 all over 2. Then minus, say plus 2x minus 1 plus C. Look at it because this minus 1, the minus here is taken to this place, changing this minus to be what? Positive. Now, this is the result, but you can still proceed by writing this to be minus, this is the minus 1 over 2, multiplied by x power minus 2 means 1 over x squared. All right? Plus 2 multiplied by x power minus 1 means 1 over x. Then plus c. Mind you, this is constant of what? Integration. Now, minus 1 times 1, we have minus 1. 2 times x squared, we have 2x squared. Then plus 2, this is like 2 over 1. 2 times 1, we have 2. 1 times s, we have x. Then plus what? C. This is the final answer. Whether you leave your answer this way or this, it's still the same. God bless us. Bye.